Category management is a federal government initiative to improve the effectiveness and efficiency of purchasing across all agencies. Typical explanations of category management are from the government's perspective and how it impacts them. They do talk about small businesses and industry, but most often from the high level of achieving their own goals. This video is for small businesses and it's delivered by a small business owner. It'll be part of a series throughout 2019 that we hope will provide you with the knowledge and steps you need to take in order to be more successful as it relates to category management. Keep in mind that the HUBZone Chamber of Commerce operates from the perspective of winning by the rules of the game. We don't try to change the rules. There's other organizations better suited to address policy improvement than us. Rather, we want to help you understand category management and show you that it's not better or worse than how the federal government procured in the past. It's just different. Let's do our homework together and become category management aware. My name is Neil McDonald and I'm the founder of the HUBZone Chamber of Commerce. It started as an organization dedicated to helping HUBZone small businesses. Now we're expanding that mission to include all small businesses and are dedicated to helping small businesses win $200 billion of the small business eligible dollars spent each year. That'll be an $80 billion increase. We had massive success in 2018, and I know this goal is achievable when all of us small businesses work together. As you can see, I have many years of experience as a small business owner in the federal government market in particular. It's always been time consuming for me to find information, or as the government likes to say, to do my homework. And I'm committed to making it easier for you by sharing as much as possible for free to aid in your success. Go ahead and visit hubzonechamber.org to learn more. Also, please connect with me on LinkedIn so I can see what you consider important out there and that you're sharing, and you can see more of what I share. The federal government put category management in place basically to make their lives easier and to spend better. This is vital when you think about what they manage each year. 3,200 buying offices, 40,000 contracting officers, 160,000 vendors, 3 million contracts, 12 million transactions on those contracts. Try and relate to the vast responsibility on the shoulders of the government acquisition personnel. If you can, then you'll recognize that category management at its core is process improvement. In other words, change. Those of us who embrace change will succeed. In this presentation, I'm going to walk you through the 19 groups of category management. First, I'll show them to you from a high level, and then I'll walk you through each one of them individually. By the way, for reference, the data I share is based on a December 2018 update from the GSA in their FY 2018 Q3 action plan. You can go ahead and find that using Google. So let's take a look at the first 10 categories. These all relate to common goods and services bought by the federal government each year. I'll go into each of them on future slides, but it's important for you to understand that these 10 categories represent 2/3 of the federal government's spend each year, or roughly $300 billion. I would argue that if you're a small business with less than $10 million in revenue, you should only be focusing on one of these categories, 2 at the absolute most. You want to become an expert in one of these categories. And as you'll see in future videos, you want to pursue the correct contract vehicles related to category management. The next 9 categories are in Department of Defense centric categories. They're organized and managed differently than the common categories, so you'll see less information. But this is probably a perfect time for me to ask you to give this video a thumbs up. Put a comment in that says you'd like to learn more about the DoD centric categories, and this might motivate someone in DoD to provide some additional information to me that I can then share with you. So take a look at these. These are the 19 groups in category management. We're going to now break them down individually. Each of the next 19 slides will go quickly and follow the same format. In the top left, I'll show the category title. Below that, you'll see the estimated amount the federal government spends each year in this category. I went ahead and rounded the numbers up to make them easier to read. On the right-hand side, I'll show you which agency has the lead for the category, and that serves as the example to all others. Below that, when I have it, I'll show the category manager. This is the government expert appointed to developing the federal strategy that will then drive improved performance government-wide. They also act as the change agent for their category. Next, you'll see the subcategories. This information might change depending on what government documents you reference, but basically it's consistent enough for you to take action. More importantly, this section shows you how you can see if your core competency matches up to this category. And then finally, when possible, I give you a website to get started on doing a deeper dive into the category. There are a few that I couldn't find, but I'll continue to look and update the video when I have more information. The information technology category includes cybersecurity products and services, software and hardware products and services, cloud computing services, data center services, and networking services. They have a very robust site with a ton of information that you can go research. GSA's professional services category focuses on a wide range of professional, scientific, and technical services requiring a high degree of expertise and training. This category includes services that are advisory, problem-solving, and intellectual in nature, often requiring SMEs or subject matter experts. When you research a category such as security and protection category, you really can gain deep insight into how the government procures. For example, when I was looking at this one for preparing this deck, I learned that you can't get a contract for work that's just installation in this category. Installation is only procured as part of the product purchase. Keep in mind as you do your research that each category is further broken down. For example, here in facilities and construction, you see the 5 subcategories. Those subcategories are further broken down into 24 functional groupings, such as demolition, which is under the facility-related services subcategory. The industrial products and services category manages goods and services that can include those used in the production of final products. For example, raw materials and components, instruments, hardware, or tools. This category manager, like his peers, has set a major initiative to increase the utilization of small businesses. So go ahead and make yourself known to him and to his team. This category, office management, strives to provide complete solutions for agencies' office needs. This includes everything needed to help stand up an office and support business operation. That could be the flooring, copy paper, or pens, for example. Basically anything that you would use to manage your own office. If your core competency is around relocation services, such as for employees or entire offices, or around vehicle buying and leasing, then the transportation and logistics service category is for you. Their site doesn't have as much as others, but does lead to the major application and tools used by the government for these acquisitions. The travel and lodging category's website is a good stepping off point, but also check out what they call the travel hallway. It's what Mr. Burke and his team created to serve as a repository for government-wide solutions, program information, tools, and best practices to support their agencies. There's a great vendor resource section on the human capital category website. It's designed to support both current vendors and those wishing to sell off of a GSA schedule. This category includes administration services, HR support, temporary staffing, and other HR-related services. The medical category is jointly managed by the Department of Defense and the Department of Veterans Affairs. Most of the data on this site is restricted to the government access, but there's still some useful information. As we continue this series, we'll identify and share additional information related to the medical category. In fact, I'll ask any government person watching this video that you could help make some introductions, so please reach out to me directly if you can do that. As I mentioned, those first 10 categories are for common goods and services bought across the entire federal government. The next 9 are considered DoD-centric and used within the DoD group, to group their procurement logically. They've been doing this for many years. The first 10 categories are managed by the Category Management Leadership Council, which includes DoD, but the next 9 categories are managed exclusively by the DoD. Let's go ahead and take a look at them fairly quickly. I don't have the name of who leads each of these categories or a website for you at the moment to do more research, but I'll provide an update when I do have that information. Let's take a look further into the category management and see how DoD organizes what they buy. The 9 DoD-centric categories are aircraft, ships, submarines, and land combat vehicles, weapons and ammunition, electronics and communication equipment, sustainment supplies and equipment, clothing, textile, and subsistence supplies and equipment, miscellaneous supplies and equipment, research and development, equipment-related services, and finally, electronic communication services. I'm providing this slide as a reference to you. You can screenshot it or just join the HUBZone Chamber at hubzonechamber.org to have a copy sent to you. Both the Chamber and this reference sheet are free. Remember, this is part of a series of the homework videos we'll provide that are geared specifically to helping small businesses like yours learn enough about category management and how it fits into your strategic planning. The next video will be on related contract vehicles that you should either try to be on as a prime or develop a subcontracting relationship with one of the primes. In FY 2018, the HUBZone Chamber of Commerce helped push almost $10 billion to HUBZone small businesses. This was a 35% increase over the previous year. We did this not by blaming Congress or federal agencies, but by teaching small businesses like yours that you really do control your future. We held over 250 events in 2018 focused on sources sought opportunities. For those of you who don't know, the best time to pursue an opportunity is during the sources sought phase while the government's still open to suggestions on how best to procure products and services. The HUBZone Chamber was only able to see such great results because of small businesses like you. Again, join the Chamber today. It's a dues-free organization, and we have members from Guam to the U.S. Virgin Islands and every single state in between. We're absolutely committed to your success and only ask that you show up and do your part. And I guess your part is showing up. I hope you found this information useful. Please share it on LinkedIn so that the people you're connected with will also be able to benefit from the content. I'm Neil McDonald, reminding you that government contracting is not a secret. It's just a process.